Gord here. How you doing, YouTube? How you doing, Google? Um, this is take two because I was interrupted. Just had a message from my son on the computer and got me all flutterduddled, and I couldn't speak. And I don't like making him wait. He may interrupt this again. Maybe I can talk to him while it happens. I don't know. We'll see. This may be short. Um, as the title says, this is an update to CBD again. I did put a final, I really like it, I suggest it, everything like that. This is me, the typical me, the experimental me. I like to find out what if, I wonder. Back to my childhood, my father always said, if you can ask what if or I wonder, look it up. And he always had 4 or 5 different encyclopedias. We had the World Book of Knowledge. We had Britannica. It was amazing. And we did. Because we were a family that talked a lot, we often found things where, yeah, but what if? And sometimes, yes, we'd talk because somebody else has already asked it and looked it up. But other times, if nobody could answer, boom, as a family, we were over to the encyclopedias and finding out. Or somebody would just say, I'll look that up after supper. And a few of us would find out. I raised my kids who, internet age, but no Google, no Bing, still search, find it. I did have one set of encyclopedias for a while. Because that was the 80s, late 80s, and through the 90s. And then, of course, as better search came, go to the computer, find out. And that brings us to current time and my grandchildren and my own child now. Google it. Google it. Look it up. Everything will come out. You can even just say, okay, Google, what is CBD?
Cannabidiol is one of at least 85 active cannabinoids identified in cannabis.
There you go, and take it from there. Many, many stories, and you can start reading up on it. But what my what if was what if I woke up and I had just gone on a trip and I forgot my CBDs. Now this is not an easy thing to always take because the oil is pretty hard in here. You have to heat it up. So you drip it under hot water, hair dryer. I don't have a hair dryer, so I use hot water. Then a little drop on food 3 times a day. And I've been doing this for over half a week and 6 days, mostly a week. And it's been working beautifully. My body's felt great. But what if I missed? What if I had to miss? Would there be side effects? I didn't think so coming from a plant, and there hasn't been. Would there be withdrawals? No, didn't think so either. But would there be a change? And yes, my body is not as calm. And I finally kind of figured it out. See, CBDs have been very, very, I mean, Charlotte's Web is a very super high CBD plant. And strong CBDs are what is used to attack tremors in the brain, tremors in your nerves, multiple sclerosis, schizophrenia, but also seizures, so epilepsy, and recently autism. So it's that side of the plant. It makes sense that throughout the day, even though I was medicating the other way without the CBD in my system today, I started feeling again for the first time in 4 or 5 days the twitches that my nerves do in my neck that really hurt. This is an anti-seizure. It calms things. So it's helping me by understanding, by going a day without it, I learned to understand more how it is affecting my body and therefore probably others by because I kept trying to describe the effect on the body as a calm. And I can't think still of a better word the more I dig in. So what I found was I was starting to get the pulsating nerves in my neck and my lower back that I always have, that I haven't felt for a few days. So rather than just only take one today, because it's late in the day, I instead put my CBD oil, very deep heating oil. It's around $25 a bottle, and it's a lot. I've been using it for 2 weeks, and I still have 7/8 of the bottle left. But I put it on immediately onto my neck and my shoulders and my lower back. Right away, those nerves were calm. But within half an hour, that was an hour ago. That was at 6, it's now 7. So by now, my whole body is so much more calm. My whole body. It first attacks because you put it on top of the muscles, the spinal column, the bones, the joints around where you've applied it, where it's soaking in. But then it gets into the bloodstream, and wow. Yeah. So what was the end of my experiment? What is my lesson learned? Uh, because unlike the scientific method, I don't like going in with a hypothesis. Because if you go in with a predetermined thought of how the ends should be and test for that, then you are narrow visioned. I just did it without any idea what would happen to me, let it happen. My ultimate feeling on CBD is you can easily skip 1, 2 uh, doses per day, or easily skip a few days. You pay for it just in less protection for your body. It's about it. It's about it. It's a beautiful, beautiful medicine to keep in you that keeps the tremors. If you have those issues anywhere, if it's at all part of neurological or neurological, if your problem is somewhat neurological, like some of mine are, CBDs will help. If it isn't, CBDs calm you. CBDs calm you. Then maybe you don't need the deep heat and rub. Maybe a CBD pill. This CBD oil is not very tasty, but you only put the drops. I hide it in peanut butter. I put it on a peanut butter cookie or something like that, something fatty so it binds to it. So that's all I have to say about CBD. I would like to cheers with you about it. I like to bring extra information. I hope that some of this information has come in handy to you all, or will come in handy in the future. Maybe you haven't tried CBDs yet. I still would always recommend it. Cheers. Uh, this is Blueberry Haze Buddha. Now, I want to show you guys something. I just turned this up to 600. I want to show you guys something. T-Town Tim shared somebody else's video, and it was from The Baker. And it was his video, RSE Daily Log 8515. He's the guy who logs his medication points, and he puts up some pictures. And but one thing I noticed was how he took a toke, and I want to show it to you and try it again. It was really interesting, and that's using a coil at a high temperature. I tried it at the lower temperature. It doesn't work, but if you look, I take this coil and I go here. It was fun. It's a little awkward. It burns it differently. The first couple of tokes, as you're trying to bring the heat through, because mine was never touched the pot. It was the heat, because it's the same size. So the first couple of pulls, you're pulling the terpenoids out with just heat, and you're getting some of the THC vapor at first, and then it catches and it just burns so beautifully. I need to set up something for putting the coil down so I can use one hand, because one hand holds this. But hey, Baker, that was a cool idea, and I get the THC differently. You get it differently. You get a different high. Always. I love experiments. So I talked about one, the end of one, and then did one with you because I saw someone else do it. That's what this community is all about, sharing. That's how Rosentech became Rosentech, is somebody had a way of doing something, and maybe a bunch of other people had that way too, but one of them shared it, and boom, it took over. So I'm just sharing that because it's a neat way to heat. It was just hot air coming through a tube into it. I think that could be something. It was interesting. Try it. Cheers.